Congratulations, Michelle, on this year's Bite Size Halloween. Very inclusive, very amazing. How are you enjoying being a part of this?
It's been wonderful. Yeah, from the get-go, just a great experience. It really gave me an opportunity to find a story that I didn't know I had in my repertoire. And that's been the biggest blessing. And you know, to find that I'm able to direct horror, which I didn't realize, was kind of one of these things where I was sort of on the threshold because I love thriller, I love suspense, tension. But I didn't realize that that it was going to be as enjoyable as it has been.
What has made this so enjoyable?
Well, working on a story that's required to be short. I mean, short films are just so difficult. You know, because you have to get a story in very quickly. A lot of the ones that I saw in the previous seasons that were shared with me as a way to kind of invite me into the process, I was so impressed with how quickly they jumped into, you know, very deep waters, and visually what the requirement of the genre it needs to deliver, which are jump scares and the visual sense of being visceral, which for me is kind of key really as a director, is that everything feels viscerally accessible. So I didn't really think about horror as a director. Maybe I've watched it as a fan, but directing it is a very completely different experience. So I just didn't know, you know, when you get to being 30 years in the industry and you think you've seen it all in terms of just what you think you're capable of. And, you know, mostly for me, it's been as an actor. These kinds of doorways that are open to you as a filmmaker, you know, I kind of stumbled upon it, and in a way, I think I was able to work within that genre. So, you know, talking to you and being part of the series is a way, it's a green light for me of saying, okay, you're on a good path, keep going. And as a director, you need those kinds of green lights.
Definitely, and you got such an amazing cast. Your main actress did such an amazing job of embodying this character, of making us really care for her really quickly. What kind of direction did you give her? What kind of conversations did you guys have in order to come to this character?
Well, I am an actor by trade, so I worked with them very deeply in terms of trying to have a process with them, asking them if they were okay with me working with them in process. Some actors don't want their process to be disclosed or to be touched, and to be touched meaning, you know, don't mess with my process, just let me show up to set and do my work. And I am more drawn to actors who are willing to let me come inside their process and kind of tinker around. And she's such a young actress and such a gifted actress. She was open to me working with her. We did some dream work, Jungian dream work, so I could tap into the subconscious. I asked her about some personal history so that I could understand how she related to the story. So she was quite an open book and quite willing to play. And I think that, you know, when you're on set, there isn't a lot of time for process. So she worked very quickly and under a lot of pressure. And being as young as she is, I think she just, you know, handled the role with great aplomb.
And this story is so incredible. You develop it so quickly. How familiar were you with this story beforehand, and how did it come to you?
So about 3 years ago, my son came home. He was in kindergarten, and he came home with a story about the NIAN. And he goes to a Chinese language program, and I'm wearing the school colors here. And the story is about how and why Chinese New Year is celebrated the way it is. And typically we have a big parade, we have a dragon dance, there's fireworks. And the reason for all that is because in the mythology, there was this monster of the NIAN, and the NIAN would come down to eat villagers. And in order to keep the NIAN away, you would need to do loud noises. And that's why the parade and the fireworks grew out of that. And I didn't know, I knew how we celebrated, but I didn't know why we celebrated that way. And I was fascinated by the story. And so that story stayed with me. When I was given an opportunity to pitch ideas, I kind of had this, very beginning idea of what if a Chinese girl on Chinese New Year's, feeds her racist bullies to the monster, the NIAN. And that's kind of where it began.
Awesome. Well, the short is fantastic. It's really well done, looks beautiful. The acting is incredible. So congratulations on this, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Jesus. I appreciate it.